So, welcome back. We're here. What's going on? This is Roxas Torterra, and we're here to do an interesting video. I've never done a tier list of Pokemon, so I'm gonna start from Kanto because Generation 1. I normally would start in my favorite generation, which is Generation 4, but we're gonna start in Kanto, Gen 1, and yeah, we'll go from there. I'm not actually using my mic, my usual headset that's on this right now. I'm trying something different right now to see how this comes out. I tested it and it sounded like okay, so I'm gonna try it this way. I'm using an earpiece instead. Like, it's actually pretty decent in quality, sound and quality. But if I don't like it, then I'll just do away with it and change it. But anyway, let's get into this video. I'm gonna look at maybe like my top 5 or top 10. I don't know what would be better, but we're gonna scroll through this. We're on Serby.com, and we're gonna scroll through all the Generation 1 Pokemon from 0 to 151, which means that's including Mew. So let's go. Pikachu actually became one of my favorite Pokemon during, I think, 3rd and 4th gen-ish. So Pikachu is actually one of my favorite Pokemon too. Yes, it sounds cliche because Pikachu's like the mascot, but no, Pikachu is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon. We can kind of get into why Pikachu is pretty cool too, like electric typing, which is really good. It's a one typing, so you don't have too many drawbacks to that. Look at this shiny. It's more yellow, but kind of like orangey. And you got the different Pikachu with the ash hats as well, which is really cool to have. Apparently, you can't get that in shiny. So if anybody ever brings a shiny ash hat Pikachu, then yeah. So there's the abilities, which is static and lightning rod. Let me look at my playlist. So my playlist is, if you're interested, is by this artist, I believe, on SoundCloud. Their name is KU. Yeah. So if you ever want to check them out, you can check them out. I'm gonna put a link in the description below so you can check KU out. KU is really cool. I like their music. So yeah, abilities like static for Pikachu is really good. So if you're the user, if the enemy makes contact with the Pokemon, you have a 30% chance of becoming paralyzed, which is really good in this game, Sword and Shield now, because stats matter right in the point that it happens, that it occurs in the turn. So if you get paralyzed and you might have been faster than the opponent, you will be slower than the opponent in the same turn that you got paralyzed right off the bat, instead of waiting a turn before you actually set in the paralysis speed value. So like normally in the other games, you would still be your current speed, I believe, and you would still go first, I believe, even if you're paralyzed in that turn. And then the following turn and the rest of the turns, you get the half speed, or like not half speed, but like a lower decrease in speed. I think now it's half. I think it used to be 25%. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's half speed now in Sword and Shield. But static is a good ability for that reason. Lightning Rod is also another great ability because that draws in the. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. That actually draws in electric moves. So like if you're in double battles, it's really good, and it also increases the Pokemon that's using Lightning Rod, which is the ability I'm talking about, that draws electric moves. Just saying it again. It increases the special attack by 1 stage, which it says there, which is really good because if you're playing on like doubles and someone tries to hit like a water type on your right hand side or your left hand side of your field, you can switch in Pikachu, and Pikachu will just take in the electrical move, which is really cool, and it'll save your water type. As you see, the Pikachu has many different forms that I showed a few seconds ago, and it also has a Dynamax form and a Alolan Raichu form. There's no Alolan Pikachu, but there is a Dynamax Pikachu, which I have not used yet, but it's like the fat Pikachu, the original Pikachu, basically, because the Pikachu that we have now is kind of a little bit more like skinny, or like a little bit more like newer model. But people that see the Dynamax Pikachu realize that's like Generation 1 Pikachu, the fat Pikachu, Fatchu. I guess there's something you can get Alolan Raichu from transfer? Huh. I don't know. But anyway, Pikachu's generational dex entry right here is Pikachu that can generate powerful electricity have cheek sacs that are extra soft and super stretchy. So yeah, that's really cool to see. That's Sword and Shield. And there's also like a whole bunch of different entries for the partner wearing the hat. That's crazy. They travel across regions and stuff like that. Wow. Okay. So here's something cool about Pikachu. It has Fake Out as well, I think, is it an egg move that it gets as now? Or always, rather? Yeah, so Pikachu has Fake Out, so if you're playing on doubles, Fake Out's really good to have. and you can lead with Pikachu and go for Fake Out because Fake Out has priority, which means even if a Pokemon might be faster than Pikachu, Fake Out will go first as long as they're not using a priority move or using something like Prankster to go before you. So if their base speed is faster than Pikachu, then yeah. Pikachu's pretty fast actually. I think Raichu is definitely a lot faster, but yeah. And then Pikachu also gets Volt Tackle, which is a really good move. So that's, you have to breed that with a Light Ball. So I believe the mom has to have a Light Ball. I think the female Pikachu has to have a Light Ball, holding the Light Ball, and then you get Volt Tackle, I believe. So that's really cool to get too. Volt Tackle is a really strong physical based move, but I think Pikachu's a special attacker if I'm not wrong. No, Raichu's a special attacker. Pikachu is a physical attacker. Yeah. So Pikachu's pretty fast. You got 156 speed. It's not super fast, but it's not bad either. Maybe I'll use Pikachu in doubles. I'll try. So Pikachu's one of my favorites. So yeah, there you go for Pikachu. Thunderbolt is obviously a great choice, or Volt Switch if you're running a mixed variant, because physical attacks sometimes not so great to always use. But yeah, Pikachu gets really cool stuff like Nuzzle as well. So Nuzzle can actually be used really good against opponents that are faster than you. So they'll be paralyzed and then you can go before them. Fake Out, as I said, is really good. It has access to Wish too, which is really interesting. So you can make you can't really make a bulky Pikachu. The HP is 142 and the defenses are like really bad. You could Eviolite it and try, but I highly doubt that would be viable. But yeah, Pikachu's a pretty cool Pokemon overall. I love Pikachu. Definitely one of my favorites. Alright, so we're gonna go back. And we're gonna scroll down. Nidoking and Nidoqueen are really cool too. Ninetales is really beautiful too. Wigglytuff is cool. Golbat's dope too. Vileplume, yes. Parasect. Venomoth. I used to like Venomoth too a little bit, but not really to the point where I was like, yes, I love this Pokemon. Golduck is freaking cool. Golduck has a really cool art. One of my favorites? Not really. I loved using it in one of my playthroughs though, but it was really cool. Primeape is that guy. I love Primeape too, but no, definitely not one of my favorites of the gen. Arcanine, definitely one of my favorites of the gen. Arcanine's amazing. Why did we get... What? There we go, we're back. Let's get rid of this. So we do have Arcanine here. Whoa, look at all these event stuff. Whoa, what the heck? Okay, so we're gonna move. Look at that art though, I love that. We're gonna jump to the new gen deck. So Arcanine is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 as well. The abilities are really good. They go on and on. You got Intimidate, you got Flash Fire, and its hidden ability is Justified. I only now recently started like learning more about Justified. I knew it's a good ability, but not really in like singles too much. But in doubles, it's really good. But Arcanine overall is a great Pokemon. The shiny is pretty nice too. It's a yellow, like almost like a golden type color. Really nice. Arcanine's a big, gigantic dog, and I believe it's the legendary Pokemon. Yeah, it's a legendary Pokemon. That's one thing that was interesting always to me, that was deemed a legendary Pokemon. But how they always showed Arcanine in the original series, look, it's a huge, gigantic dog. And I think Gary had one, and I was like, that's so cool. I love Arcanine. Arcanine is so beautiful. The first Pokemon game I played, I'll tell you that in a different video about the first Pokemon game I played. But when I did play it, I really wanted Arcanine, but I could not get Arcanine for some reason. I think it was a version exclusive for me, so I didn't get it. So I had to try to get my sister to give it to me. But I'll talk about that more later. Interestingly enough, the male and female rate differs. So female Arcanine are way rarer. I do prefer to have a male one just because of how it looks. So it looks like it would be a strong male. But then, hey, there's strong females too. Don't get me wrong. And they're just as beautiful too. They're both beautiful. So don't take that out of context and think anything. Anyway, Intimidate is definitely a great ability. You can start off with Arcanine in singles, and if they start with a physical attacker, Arcanine can just lower their stage by 1 attack, so they're weaker than they normally are. So Arcanine has a little bit of advantage. You can make Arcanine bulky or physical or special. It has so many different viabilities with it. But obviously Pokemon, like it says here, that obviously Pokemon with like Clear Body, Hyper Cutter, or White Smoke ability are unaffected by this stat change. So it says in a linked battle, both sides switch on the same turn, and first player sends out a Pokemon with Intimidate, the opponent's attack will be lowered before the opponent's Pokemon switches. Ooh, so if you swap out, you'll lower the Pokemon that's in front of them, and then they'll switch out the Pokemon that you just lowered, and then they'll switch into their new Pokemon. That's kind of meh. Interesting, but it's still useful. Normally people lead with Arcanine just in case they anticipate like somebody leading with a physical attacker. And it is good in doubles as well because you get 2 attack drops because 1 on each Pokemon. So that's really useful. If they're both leading, if your opponent's leading with double physical attackers, you can just throw Arcanine out and Intimidate hits both of them. So you just lowered both Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field by one stage of attack, which is really useful. But if you're doing it to like a Pokemon that's special, it's not really helpful. But yeah, it's a really good ability. And you have Flash Fire that, so say you have a Grass type Pokemon in, or like a Steel type in, whatever is weak against Fire, whatever else is weak against Fire type moves. Or if you just want to take in a Fire type attack, like maybe they Dynamax and you want to take in a Fire type attack, you can switch into Arcanine and take the hit with the ability called Flash Fire. You don't take any damage. Arcanine or whatever Pokemon has Flash Fire absorbs it, and you get an increase. You get an increase in your, I believe, special attack. So it says, yeah, hit by a damaging fire type move. Uses fire moves will deal 1.5 times damage with this ability. When this ability is in effect, it's immune to damage from fire type. So you don't take any damage, like I said. Will-O-Wisp also activates the ability. So if you use a Will-O-Wisp, like try to burn something, and they switch in this a Pokemon that has Flash Fire, like Arcanine, it'll take the Will-O-Wisp and increase their yeah, it's increases. I believe Flash Fire increases your special attack. So yeah, many Pokemon have a few, like maybe a couple of Pokemon have this, which is really good. I think Flash Fire has an outside use like Flame Body. I'm not quite sure about that. No, I don't think. Oh, if the Pokemon is in the lead spot, chance of encountering a fire type wild Pokemon increases severely. Wow, so you can actually induce more Pokemon to come out if you have a Flash Fire in your slot, which is really cool. I wonder if Intimidate has a outer effect. It does. If the Pokemon is in the lead spot, chance of encountering a low-level Pokemon decreases by 50%. This applies to 5 levels lower than or below the level lead. That's insane. Static, I don't think would have an outer world effect. If it does, that's interesting. Justified is an attack. Also, if you get hit by like a Dark type move, you get an increased stages of 1 in your attack. That's more useful I've seen in doubles where you as your own partner would have like a Pokemon that has a Dark type move, and you'll hit your own partner that has Justified ability. So I would hit my own Arcanine with the move like Beat Up, is seen mostly in doubles, and it'll like increase its attack every time it gets hit by a Dark type move. So people normally use something like Whimsicott, Beat Up, and they'll go to attack their own Arcanine and Dynamax their Arcanine, and Arcanine's attack just starts going up by 1 stage each. I believe I've been hearing that the increase in 1 stage is actually 1.5, not actually a full, like, is it 1.5 or just like a little bit below 1? It's a fraction I've been hearing. It's a fraction. It's not literally like, oh my god, you got plus like 3 or 4. Like, I think they said plus 4 is actually plus 3. So if you see plus 4, it's actually plus 3. And I guess that would apply to the same thing. Like if it's plus 3, it's actually plus 2. So plus 1 would be like kind of like a little bit higher than your original state of attack, but it's not as strong. It's still strong, but not like crazy strong. It's like, so you know, Justified, does it have an outer world effect? It does not. Okay, so not every ability has an outside effect. I didn't know Flash Fire had one. So, and Arcanine gets a lot of really nice moves. One that's really great is Extreme Speed. It's one of the highest mobility attacks in the game, priority attacks rather. It goes first like every time. I don't think it matters how fast you are, as long as you have Extreme Speed, you're outspeeding everything. It has the highest priority, I think. So, I think it does. It's like, is it like +5 priority or something? Oh, speed priority is +2. I feel like Extreme Speed still goes over certain Pokemon, that even if they have the same base, but that's probably like me not knowing certain things. Anyway, here's a Pokedex entry from Shield. A Pokemon that has long been admired for its beauty. It runs agilely as if on wings. Wow. So Extreme Speed is one great move. Flare Blitz is another great move that it gets. Let's see some egg moves. I know it gets something that's a really good move. Morning Sun is good if you're using like a Sun team, and you can restore Arcanine's HP like that, which is really cool. That helps a lot to restore it, especially if it's like a bulky defender. Look at Arcanine's stats. 197 base if you're at level 50, which is fine. 197 base. I mean not base, 90 base HP, and then it's like best if you have all your IVs correctly, it's 197. If you invest in it all the way, it's 197. Its attack is amazing. It's godly. I'm not gonna say like godly, like oh my god, but it is pretty godly. It's 110, which is really damn good if you're investing fully in attack. And then look at its special attack. It's 10 points lower. Like this Pokemon is ridiculous. Like it's really cool. And then it's 161 speed if you actually got like a jolly nature or a timid nature and you're trying to go off with your speed more than attack. And its defense is actually 80 base, and so is its special defense. Special defense and they're both the same. So you can go for HP investment and then give it whichever defenses you want to do, and then give it some special attack if you're going for like a physical wall. If you're going for a physical wall with like a special attack, that's great. Some special attacks like support. So I might make an Arcanine actually very soon in Sword and Shield, like that's support and also an attacker. Really good Pokemon. I believe you also get a Wild Charge as a TR or TM. It gets Thunderfang. So those are some really good moves. Thunderfang, Bulldoze is actually really good, especially if you're playing a Dynamax. Oh my god, such a good Pokemon. I'm really getting excited. It also gets Helping Hand. I'm getting excited talking about Arcanine right now. I think I'm going to make one after this. Like, definitely might make one after this. So Arcanine overall is a really good Pokemon. Doesn't have that many weaknesses. Water, Ground, Rock. That's about it. 3 weaknesses, which is like a lot, but not super bad. It could be worse, you know? So Pikachu and Arcanine so far, right, like my 2 top favorites. I do like Alakazam. I do like Poliwrath. I like a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon, but they're not like super favorites. Tentacruel's cool. Golem's cool. Rapidash is definitely a dope Pokemon. Slowbro is cool too. Trio. Mudkip is really cool. Cloyster is cool too. Yo, they have them right next to each other. People say Ghastly is actually the Cloyster. That pearl inside the Cloyster, that's basically supposed to be like a pearl, kind of. That's Ghastly. And they really do look alike. You can tell by the eyes. Like the whole shape of the face and the eye. Like it's just basically a floating head inside of a Cloyster. I love Marowak now. So Marowak's definitely one of my 3rd favorites. It's a really weird entry. Marowak's designs look really cool though. Like, look at that. He looks really cool. Or she looks really cool too. It could be a she. The shiny is actually a green, which was pretty funny because the green's my favorite color. He has the Alolan form, which is the on the side you can see it, which is actually really nice. A really nice Pokemon. Like Alolan Marowak is so cool. So he has some Marowak has some interesting abilities too. So Rocket is great because it basically doesn't let you receive recoil damage, meaning if you use something like Head Smash where you would normally take damage for, you don't take any damage for it. So like Head Smash, I think I said it should be Head Smash. Head Smash is a really strong ground based move. Where is it? Is it Head Smash I'm thinking of, or am I wrong? I should be right. Oh, I'm looking at the Alolan version. I think it is Head Smash though, isn't it? Bone Rush. I don't see Head Smash here. Maybe it's an egg move. I think it's an egg move. Wow, I don't see it here. Anyway, I swear it gets it though. Iron Head. No, maybe it's not in this. Maybe in this game it does. That doesn't make sense though. A move that will basically do damage to yourself normally, like a Brave Bird type attack that you take recoil from, would basically not happen when you have that ability. I swear this gets Head Smash though. And I'm thinking of the name like Head Smash. It sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, I don't know why I don't see Head Smash here though. That's awkward. I'm pretty sure maybe it's in a different deck. Let me go back one. I'm pretty sure Marowak gets Head Smash though. That's gonna bother me. Well, Double Edge is there, so Double Edge, if you get recoil damage, you actually do not take any of that recoil damage. I swear you got Head Smash. That's not ironic. That's just weird. It's not even an egg move. Is it a tutor move? It could be a tutor move. Transfer move? No? Maybe I'm missing it and I don't see it. Maybe I'll see it when I'm rendering the video and editing the video. I don't know. Anyway, Head Smash would have been optimal for, I guess, in this sense. I guess because I think it's a rock type move. And anyway, but you don't take any recoil from moves like that, such as Double Edge, because you get Double Edge. And that's a really good ability to have, so you don't take any recoil for high base attack moves. So you also get Lightning Rod, which is actually really cool because Marowak is already a ground type Pokemon, so it doesn't really matter if it gets that. So people most likely read into that if you're going to switch out in a single battle to nullify the electric move. But in this scenario, you would increase your special attack. It's not really used for special attack. It's just the fact that you can absorb the move and you take no damage from it. Now, this works really good in doubles, I would say, again, just for the fact that you have a partner on the side that might want to get hit by an electric type move, and the opponent's just like, I'm gonna hit that partner Pokemon that you have, which is like a water type, and then you can just throw in Marowak and it'll take it in with its little bone club in its hand, and you're safe. Battle Armor is a hidden ability for which one? Alola form abilities, no. Okay, Battle Armor is for the original Marowak, and since we're doing Gen 1, we're going to only talk about this one. Opponent's moves cannot critical hit, which just speaks for itself, so your opponent won't be able to land a critical hit on you. That's pretty much all I can say. So that's pretty cool, so you don't get critted. That's it. So no matter how much a Pokemon has like a high crit rate or chance to crit you, nope, doesn't happen. So let's see. So some good moves it gets is like, or some decent moves I want to say, is like Bone Club is not that great. It does have a higher potential I think to hit than Bone Meringue. 90 base? No, Boomerang has more. So anyway, Boomerang is like a boomerang. So you hit it, you use the move, and it actually gets you 2 hits on the Pokemon, so it's 50 damage base. So that's pretty cool. I think if you have the Bone Club item in your hand, you have a higher chance to crit. Yeah, the Thick Club. The Thick Club actually I think does heighten either your chance to crit or to get higher. It's most likely a crit chance that goes up, which is pretty cool because that's his signature item, but normally you'll run a different item on it. Sometimes you run a different item, like you'll probably get like a Life Orb or something like that. Anyway, we do have Stomping Tantrum now is what they're putting here. That's really cool. Stomping Tantrum is really good. But Bone Rush I think is also another good move. You can hit them about 5 times in a row. I don't know if it's 2 to 5 times in a row. That's decent. But Double Edge would be good if you're using the other ability, like I said earlier, Rockhead. So that's good. So you take no recoil damage. So Bone Club is pretty decent. Let's see some egg moves. I know they get something. Belly Drum is good because you could go for a Belly Drum and possibly sweep a team if you're fast enough, or if you set up Sticky Web on the team and then the opponents are slow, you can just probably try to sweep them with this. But Chip Away is decent too. Iron Head's really good to other Pokemon that you may not actually have a move for. It gets Parasong. That's really interesting because that's actually pretty interesting. I never knew it had that. Interesting. So that's a decent move, but it gets the punches. Does it get Ice Punch? It gets Thunder Punch. Oh, that's Ultra Move, Ultra Moon, and Ultra Sun. Stealth Rock is really good for setting up, obviously. Heat Wave it gets, Pain Split it gets, Ally Switch it gets. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. So a little bit of a issue with getting good move pools, but it's not terrible. It could be worse. Rock Smash, Secret Power, Power Punch is good. But yeah. We'll get Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss is actually pretty good because it gives you a base damage every time. So let's look at your stats. I know your stats isn't that great. Yeah. So its HP is pretty decent, 167. Attack is 145. It's abysmal, and you got 178 defense. Now that's pretty good. That's something you could look at. So 178 defense with some good HP, and your attack is not that great, but you can still like do things with that. Defense is 145. You could probably just up its HP, give it some defense, give it some special defense, and you could probably make it a little bulky. It's not really fast anyway, and invest in some attack. So that's pretty good. The Alolan form is pretty much the same stats from what I'm seeing here. But the Alolan form, in my opinion, has a lot better moves. You can do things like Will-O-Wisp and stuff because it's a Ghost and Fire type, I believe. Or is it Ghost and Ground? It's Fire Ghost, yeah. Alolan form is Fire Ghost. That's a great Pokemon right there. You can use so many different things. But I digress. I do want to see what the Thick Club does. I think it heightens crit rate. Sells low. Oh no, the attack stat is doubled. So it does actually, I was going to say that, like, I thought it was just a crit chance. I was like, no, I wouldn't increase the attack. It doubles the attack stat. So if you're adamant and you're like 148, you're skyrocketing to like 3 something. Holy crap, 145 to something else, like double that. Pretty good. Double that. That's insane. It's about like 400 or 300 or something. Wow. So interesting, you can bulk it, you can make it bulky and then still hold the Thick Club and not really invest too much probably in your attack. You can put a little bit in, try to make it bulky, and then invest in a little bit in attack, and then whew, you got the Thick Club on that, hit that person with that. That's gonna hurt. It'll still do some decent amounts of damage. It'll do a decent amount of damage. I didn't read Marorak's description, I'm sorry. Marorak's description, we'll do the most recent one, which is, I guess, Ultra Sun and Moon, because it's not in, it's the Bone Keeper Pokemon. It's not in Sword and Shield at the moment. So we're gonna look for the Dex entry. So Sun and Moon. Oh, well, Let's Go Pikachu has it too. Small and weak, this Pokemon is adept with its Bone Club. it has grown more vicious over the ages. Holy crap. That's insane. Okay. So that's my top three so far. We got like 2 more to go. I'm doing top 5. Hitmonlee's pretty cool. Hitmontan's pretty cool. Not my first or second or third picks though. Lickitung is there, pretty cool because of Gen 4 gave it a nice evolution. Weezing is really cool as a physical wall, so I love using that in competitive battling. Chansey's pretty cool. It eats up every goddamn thing because of Eviolite. Oh my god. Tangela too. Oh, I miss Tangela as a Tangrowth. I miss that. Seadra is pretty cool. Kingdra is definitely dope. Starmie is actually a very good first gen Pokemon too. I do love Starmie. Starmie is actually pretty good. Scyther is really cool. Tauros, I actually really do like Tauros. I'm not gonna lie. And Lapras, oh my god. Okay, so we got Pikachu. Wow, I think I know the rest of my favorites. Gyarados is so cool too, but I like Pikachu, Arcanine, Marowak, and my fourth is see, that's Gyarados is really dope. Everyone loves like Gyarados though, but as far as my favorites, I wouldn't be a Gyarados. Lapras, I really love Lapras. Yo, I love Lappy. Look at her, she's beautiful. I love Lapras, and she has a good Gigantamax form. Shoot, she's so cool. There's our shiny, really beautiful actually. Did my music stop? We're gonna play it again. So Lapras is really cool because she has so many function abilities. She is a transport Pokemon. Here's her abilities: Water Absorb, which actually allows you to gain some more HP when you get hit by a Water type move. So if you throw switch in Lapras into a Water type move, she gains her HP back, 1/4 of its maximum HP, which isn't bad. Shell Armor again speaks for herself. You can't be critted, so anytime someone goes in for like high critical hit moves, you can just ignore all that with Shell Armor. Hydration is its hidden ability, which is pretty useful in the rain teams. So if you're a poison, any type of status, you can throw Lapras into the rain, and it'll clear its status. So that's really cool. So you don't suffer from any status problems. That really helps, especially if you're trying to hit a move and you're paralyzed. It'll just cleanse it. I think people are running Crit Armor, Shell Armor, Gigantamax Lapras. So I'm thinking of starting my own team soon for doubles. You know, I'm not really crazy with doubles, but I'm trying my best to get into it. Let's read a dex entry. A smart and kind-hearted Pokemon. It glides across the surface of the sea while its beautiful song echoes around it. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. And it has a Gigantamax entry too. Wow. She has access to a lot of new moves too. Like Life Dew is a really new move to me, relatively new. Its accuracy is 101. What? Miss has 101, so you really can't miss those moves. What the heck? That's so weird. Sing is pretty good because it puts the opponent to sleep. Water Pulse is cool. Confuse Ray is cool, but moves that I normally see people use, I've been seeing people use Parasong with Lapras because you can trap them in with another Pokemon, and you can keep the opponent in with trap by using Parasong. And after 3 turns, the Pokemon, all Pokemon on the field that heard the Parasong faint. But the idea is to trap your opponent's Pokemon in, and then switch your Pokemon out accordingly, so those Pokemon can faint, and your Pokemon live the Parasong. It's strategy that works with it. Pretty easy for some people that use that type of team a lot. But yeah. Also, Lapras is really cool. It's a water and ice type Pokemon, so its weaknesses are interesting. It has grass, electric, and rock, and fighting as well, I believe, because of the fighting is there because of the ice typing. A unique typing, definitely, in my opinion. Water and ice is a really cool typing. It does leave her susceptible to certain moves because she's an ice and water type. Fire is no longer resisted. It's neutral. So because of the ice typing, so if you get hit by fire, she's gonna take neutral damage from it, which isn't so great, but she's a really good Pokemon overall. Some really good moves she gets. It's Hydro Pump, and she actually hits Sparkling Aria in this game. Yeah, Sparkling Aria is here. Any Pokemon suffering from a burn will be healed by the touch of these bubbles. That's pretty cool. So you can actually use Sparkling Aria on one of your Pokemon if you don't want them to be burned. If you're playing doubles, but that's a pretty cool move. High, strong base water type move. Freeze Dry is also a really good move because you can hit other water type Pokemon for super effective damage with Freeze Dry, even though it's an ice type move. Really cool. And you can also leave the target frozen by chance too, which is really cool as well. Curse is actually pretty unique. If you're going to use Curse, you'll up your defense and attack, but you lower your speed, and I think that's it. You just lower your speed, which she's not that speedy, so it doesn't really matter. Her stats are really good though. So 130 base HP. So she can tank. She can definitely tank moves. So there you go, 237 if you're investing in that. Attack is 150, which is not bad. Wow, 85 attack base and an 80 defense base. There's 145 defense, and special attack is 85 base. So they're actually pretty. You can actually have a physical or a special attack Lapras, which is really cool. I actually didn't know that. I normally would use her for a special attacker or a mixed attacker. Like I would throw in like a random move that would like be physical. I think she also gets Ice Shard, so that's really cool because Ice Shard's priority move. 161 special defense, which shows her thickness. That is some thickness right there. Defense 80 and special defense is 95, and you have 130 base HP. She's tanking. I really want to make Arcanine and Gigantamax Lapras. I caught Gigantamax Lapras already. I probably have to see its stats, obviously, train its stats and whatnot. Arcanine too. Like that's so cool. Like these two are so cool. And then the speed is 60. Like I said, she's not really speedy, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're gonna run like a Trick Room, you could run with her too if you want. You could also run Tailwind with her, I guess, in doubles, so she can move faster if you want to go that way. But I'm thinking of using like a weakness policy with her because she can tank a move and then just go crazy with her moveset. I'm really excited about that actually now that I'm talking about it. Ice Shard I would think about using because Ice Shard is the priority move. You get to go first. Life Dew is pretty good because you heal yourself, I believe, and your ally Pokemon if you're doing doubles. But Life Dew isn't bad if you're doing it for yourself. I thought she used to get Recover, but I think that's too broken if Lapras got Recover. Holy crap, I would love Lapras even more if she got Recover. Big boy right here, Snorlax. I love Snorlax. Snorlax is one of my, look at his sprite. I love this sprite. And Munchlax is the younger form, the baby form. Love them. And the Gigantamax form of Snorlax is so cool. I gotta make my Mega Snorlax, a Gigantamax team with Snorlax, like a Trick Room team with Snorlax. I love Snorlax. It's really left field, because I wouldn't have thought I would like Snorlax so much, but as I like continued playing Pokemon so much, I wound up really liking Snorlax. It's one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, definitely. And the shiny is absolutely one of my favorites. It's a darker shade than its original color, and it looks amazing, just straight up blue versus like a tealish blue color that it normally has. I love both colors, but shiny one is really cool too because it stands out a lot. Snorlax is called the sleeping Pokemon, and its abilities are really cool. Immunity, so it can't ever get poisoned. Thick Fat, which actually halves the damage it would take in terms of fire and ice type moves, so Snorlax is literally eating it up. And Gluttony is also another great ability, which is its hidden ability, where if it'll use the berry that it's holding when its hit points are below 50%. So yeah, if Snorlax's HP falls below 50%, it'll immediately use it. I think certain berries only pop off if you hit like a certain amount of damage. Like if you're in a pinch, it'll go off 50%. Snorlax just eats it up. So Gluttony, meaning it eats the berry faster than it normally would. And you could use something like Recycle, which is a really good move with it, to replenish that berry. And its Gigantamax move, which is, I think, what is it, G-Max something. But I'll tell you what it is in a second. I'll scroll down. But let's read a shield entry for it. This Pokemon's stomach is so strong, even eating moldy or rotten food will not affect it. So it's literally a steel stomach, an iron stomach. You can't get affected by anything. So as I said earlier, Recycle is a great move. This user recycled a held item that has been used in battle, so it can use it again. So you can keep using your berries with Recycle. I think another good move on Snorlax would be something like Belly Drum is really good in doubles I've been seeing. So you could Belly Drum with Snorlax. You have your that's the crazy tech. You have your HP with Belly Drum to get a full maxed out attack stat +6, and then your HP is gonna go pretty much almost all the way back up due to your berry that you're holding, which is usually like a flavor berry. Like a flavor berry, I usually say I call them flavor berries because they're like the berries that go based off of the Pokemon's interest, like what they like. Get your HP back, but you don't get confused because the user that's eating it likes that flavor. But if they don't like the flavor, they'll get confused, and they'll still replenish, but they'll be confused in the battle. You don't want them confused in the battle. Anyway, it gets Payday. What the heck? That's probably Gen 1, definitely. Technical machine attack. So in Sword and Shield, they can get Payday. That's hilarious. Facade is great because if they burn you or paralyze you, your Facade is doubling your attack. That's like if you didn't get your Belly Drum off, I guess. But Facade is awesome because if you get burned, you're going to be able to use Facade and still double your attack. And then I think kind of even almost balances out your maximum attack if your Belly Drum then got burned. So it's not really too much of a loss. Still really good. So Facade's great. Darkest Lariat looks amazing with Snorlax. It does like a little spin with, I might actually just show it at the end of this video. So just stay tuned for that. But yo, Snorlax's animation with Darkest Lariat is hilarious. It's one of the best animations in the game. Cool. So next to the wide move pool, as you can see here. I used to run one like this in Generation 3 when I would play like just in the Battle Frontier. I had like something weird like a flamethrower blizzard thing going on. I forgot why, but it covered my team. Curse is definitely a great move too if you don't have belly drum. Some people would run the curse set instead. So it's really good. It's really good. And the Gigantamax move I was talking about, G-Max Replenish. So a normal type attack that Gigantamax's Snorlax only can use. And this move restores berries that have been eaten. So if you ate it, you get like, I think you get like a 50% chance. Or is it 100%? Let me see. In-depth effect of G-Max Replenish. This attack has a chance of restoring a berry that has been consumed or flung. It cannot restore a berry if it was removed by knockoff or bug bite, incinerate, or pickup. That makes sense because if they incinerate it, it burned off of you. You didn't eat it. Bug bite, you got it eaten off of you, and knockoff just they smacked it off of you before you could eat it. I don't know the percentage of 50% effect rate. Yeah, so it has a 50% chance of recycling the berry. That's pretty damn cool, and it's also an attack, I believe. Base power is 1, power points are 10. That doesn't sound right, but yeah, usually they're like 100 and something, 101 accuracy. I thought it was also an attack. Yeah, there it is, 150 physical and 150 for special for any of them. So yeah, they're 150 base, obviously. So yeah, big attack move. There you go. HP, obviously, you're gonna be a greedy boy. 160 HP base, 267 if you're fully invested in HP, which is great, and if your IVs are good. So you're a tank, as you know, so that's the tank. Defenses are 128, and the special defense is 178. People don't know that it's actually more of a special wall because of how it looks. But yeah, you can see here the special defense is a lot more higher than defense, but because so much of it is HP, if you're dividing your defense, EVs, and your special defense, you're like in the middle, so you sometimes it doesn't look like you're taking that much damage from physical moves because of how much HP Snorlax actually has. What are your favorites in Kanto? My 5 favorites, as you see, are Pikachu, Arcanine, Marowak, Lapras, and Snorlax. Those are my top 5 favorites. Love them to death. I'm gonna start using them definitely more. Marowak, unfortunately, I can't really use because it's not in the current game. So hopefully they transfer over Marowak and Alola Marowak. That would be great. But anyway, I think with that, I'm gonna be out. Bye!